What's up, horror fans? Art the Clown is back, but this time he's not returning on Halloween. Jump in the van, losers, because we are not going to the Clown Cafe. We're going to deck the halls with blood and guts because Terrifier 3 is a Christmas movie. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, and here is my review for Damien Leone's Terrifier 3. Art the Clown has risen from the dead. Hey, wait a minute. It's Christmas, not Easter. Well, either way, he has risen and he's making his way back to Miles County where Sienna and her brother Jonathan are trying to get their lives back together after facing Art previously. I'm just going to go ahead and say this right away. I really enjoyed Terrifier 3. I was a big fan of the series when it started, and Terrifier 2, even though I enjoyed it, it took me 2 watches to really get into it. Hell, I even did a re-review of Terrifier 2 saying that I enjoyed the movie a lot more the second time around. Terrifier 3, I was into it the moment it started. I'm not sure if it was the film grade or what they did, but man, this looked like an authentic 1980s copy of Christmas Story. I wasn't sure how the Christmas angle was going to work for this movie since we're so used to seeing Art on Halloween, but man, it actually works pretty well, and I'm glad we got to see what a slasher is like during their off-season. And I think the movie does a pretty good job as far as showing you why possibly Art is returning on Christmas and not on his usual day on Halloween. Something that I really enjoyed in this film, and I gotta give a lot of credit to writer and director Damien Leone, were the characters. In this film, Sienna is staying with her aunt, uncle, and niece, and something that I always complain about in horror movies are the parents. The parents always come off as jerks, or they're really, really weak. The aunt and the uncle in this movie come off as really good, likable people that are trying to help their niece heal. There are moments in this movie where Sienna is starting to lose it, and rightfully so, but the aunt and the uncle are still trying to be like a strong support system, but at the same time, they're also kind of putting their guard up, trying to protect their daughter too. And you're like, damn, these are actually really, really good people. Hopefully nothing bad happens to them. Same goes for the character of Cole, who plays Jonathan's roommate, who could have easily been written off as like the jerky character that always picks on Jonathan. But Cole is more written like an older brother who does kind of like nitpick at Jonathan, but at the same time is also very protective of him, and I thought that was very well written. Man, there is a fangirl obsessed with Sienna and her brother, and of course she has a podcast, and she's the total embodiment of someone you would see on social media. David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, he's amazing. For being a silent character, he has so much charisma, and he'll make you laugh in one scene, but at the same time, he's also giving you a sinister, creepy look. I feel like Art the Clown, with his charisma and his charm, and as we, the audience, gravitate towards him, I feel like he might be like the Freddy Krueger of this generation. That's kind of weird to say out loud, but speaking of Freddy Krueger, when Robert Englund would play Freddy Krueger and underneath all that latex, you could still see that Robert Englund was in there. But when David Howard Thornton has those prosthetics covering up all his facial features and so much that you can't even tell that it's him anymore. I know it's David Howard Thornton underneath that makeup, but those prosthetics are so good at covering up his features. When I see Art the Clown, I don't see David Howard Thornton. I see Jack McBrayer underneath that makeup.
Let me just say that if God was a city planner, he would not put a playground next to a sewage system.
I think director Damien Leone did a much better job in this movie, especially with the balance between fantasy and horror this time around. And we get a little more lore on Art the Clown, which brings me back to a theory that I had after watching Terrifier 2. And this is just a theory that I've had since I watched Terrifier 2, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think Art the Clown is Sienna's dad. Sienna's dad was an artist who had visions of Art the Clown before his death. Prior to dying, Sienna's father drew this warrior angel woman who could battle evil. And with this angelic sword that either he made or he bought somewhere, he knew that this weapon could battle all evil across the world. But Sienna's father also started seeing visions of the pale girl who's actually a demon but resembled a little girl who died at the county fair. Being a loving father, the pale-faced demon used the form of the little girl to trick and manipulate Sienna's father, and shortly after he died in a fiery car accident, and was later resurrected by the pale-faced girl/demon. Sienna's father was an artist who later transformed into a demonic clown named Art. And that's probably why there's such a connection and why he's chasing Sienna and her brother across Miles County. Like I said, it's just a theory. I have a little more, but it would go into spoilers and I don't want to do that. Terrifier 3 has great practical special effects, great gags with Art the Clown, and really good performances from our actors here. And even though this movie has a bigger budget, it is still technically on the indie side, but it still manages to stay true to the previous films. My rating for Terrifier 3, if you're a fan of these films, definitely go see it on the big screen because it'd be fun to see it with the crowd. Alright, Terrifier 3, did you see it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just meh? Do you think Art the Clown is worthy to have Freddy Krueger status? And my theory, did you buy it? Do you think it's stupid? Or do you think I might be onto something? Please comment below and let me know. Alright, so please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, always keeping it honest and no hype on this page. And I'll see you at the movies.